Yeah, well, we're very, very blessed, aren't we, in rugby league to have a couple of fantastic mental health charities in affiliated to the sport, in State of Mind Sport and Rugby League Cares as well. Obviously, Rugby League Cares has grown and grown, and it's far more than just mental health support and a mental health initiative now. But State of Mind, it was a charity that was born some 12 years ago now, following the tragic passing of Terry Newton. That was the reason that State of Mind is here. Terry, a name that will be synonymous with any rugby league fan, one of the great number nines that the British game has ever produced, and he took his own life in 2011, and that was a story that was so shocking, because A, of who he was, and B, that the manner of the news, what the news was, and I mean, I can remember exactly where I was that day. I was at a rugby league match, sitting in a room with the likes of Paul Sculthorpe, and these whispers were going around that Terry Newton had died, and I just remember the shock on everyone's face, and it was just an incredible tragedy. But one good that did come out of that was a meeting between some mental health clinicians. What can we do to ensure that there isn't another Terry Newton, that a tragedy like this, whereby one of our players takes his own life because he can see no way forward, and nobody knows that he's struggling in the first place. How can that happen? And State of Mind was born off the back of that, and they are there to help. And we do a lot of work, and have done. I've been involved for a number of years now, and going into rugby clubs, going into schools, going into businesses, workplaces, colleges, universities, and opening conversations about mental health. We offer a presentation, a very basic outline of mental health awareness, how mental health and mental fitness is nothing to be ashamed of, and how actually it's a real strength to open up and talk about it, where I think as blokes, aren't we, and certainly in this sport as rugby league, we're kind of brought up to think it's a weakness. And actually, if you show a sign of I'm struggling with something, that's a weakness, which I think we now know is bollocks, isn't it? It's the opposite. If we have the ability to tell someone we're struggling, that's a real strength. It's not a weakness at all. So that's the kind of work I'm involved in doing. That obviously I don't do as much as it now. I'm so involved with Oldham, but it's something that still means a lot to me, having gone through mental health problems and struggles of my own. I've been in some really dark places, and I think when you struggle personally with something like that, and you're in spots in your life that you can't see a way out, I think it really gives you a real desire to help other people when they're in a similar situation. That's what I felt when I've struggled myself. It's like, well, what's the point of feeling like this if I can't use it to some good? So I try and talk about the own experiences I've had, and the things that have gone wrong in my life, and the dark places I've been in mentally, and share it with other people, in the hope that if just one person takes something from it and think, I'm so glad I listened to that today, actually I'm going to take something from that, then that's a good thing to do. So it's about opening that conversation, sharing vulnerability, and let people know, if you're struggling, that's all right. You're not on your own. A lot of us are struggling with it. And it's the most normal thing in the world, but together we'll help each other. So that's a very long answer to my involvement with State of Mind, but it's it's mental health in general, and men's mental health is something that I'm very, very passionate about. And a charity like State of Mind is, they were there for me when I was struggling. So I'm absolutely happy to do anything I can to give back when I'm in a better place, and I'm able to do so. So that's a long-winded explanation of my involvement with State of Mind as well, alongside my other work.
And of course, there'll be people, probably listening, watching this, who may benefit from being in touch with State of Mind. How can they go about doing that?
Yeah, well, the usual ways, really. If you can get in touch on any of the socials, State of Mind as any socials. There's a website as well with signposting, both to immediate mental health supports if you need immediate advice or help. All the places to do that will be on the State of Mind website and through the socials, and we'll very quickly be able to get you in touch with the right person. I think the most important thing is to remember that there is always help out there. If you're ever feeling at a place where you don't think there's any way forward or anyone to help, I can guarantee you from personal experience that there is always someone, there is always a way, and you might actually be surprised the amount of people who want to help you. If you can find the strength just to let people know that you need help, because a lot of us just go about our lives. There's so much going on in our own lives that we don't even notice that other people are struggling sometimes. We might even know that someone else needs help. I kind of visualize it as, falling down a dark well, and people will be walking past the top, no idea that you're stuck down there. It's up to you to shout up. And if you shout up and get someone's attention, you might be surprised at how many people are queuing up at the top to lift you back out, but they don't know you're down there. So it's kind of like finding that strength with others, just to let people know that, I'm struggling a bit here. Any chance you could help, or you could listen. And I've found that you would be pleasantly surprised at the amount of people who are there for you, because I think, there's a lot of bad stuff in the world at the moment, but I'd like to think as a humanity on the whole, there's still a lot of good people out there, and the more we help each other, the better the world is.